It is 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We are the POP Baking Club. All you have to do is show up and you are a member. My name is Kathleen. I'm a certified executive pastry chef. And today we're doing granola, but I'm supposed to have a special guest. And I think she's here right now. So let's see if this works. This is a first for me. And I have sent the invitation. And if all goes well, this is Valerie Gordon. Hi, Valerie.
Are we on?
We are on. I can't see you on video, but I can see your
I see where I'm supposed to turn on camera.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, it's okay. There we go.
I mean, this is truly a first.
Yay!
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to meet you, and I appreciate you being here so
Oh,
much.
it's such a compliment that you're cooking from my book.
Well, I don't think people know what's going on because it's a surprise, so I'm going to let them know. And I know this is backwards. I will flip the camera, but everybody, this is Valerie Gordon. Not that way. Not that way. I need to mirror it. There we go. This is Valerie's book, and this is how I found her from 2013, right?
Oh yeah, it was a minute ago.
Neat. Yes, but to me, honestly, it really is like a minute ago. And thank you so much for being here. I know that a couple people, I want to call my students because I taught at the college level baking for quite a while. And when I found your book, what I loved about it, not only that it's beautiful and the quality of the ingredients is right up my alley, but it's really rare that you find a book that ranges from petit fours to, chocolate, and then all the way to baking and pies and everything. And I find that to be what makes this book remarkable. And I absolutely love it. So we're doing the granola tonight. And when I was teaching, my specialty were the entry level students. And as soon as they were acclimated and we could trust them with the quality and expense of the ingredients, we moved to this chocolate granola. And it was popular with everyone at this community college. I mean, I'm talking the entire school. So the fact that it's rich and, there's bitterness to it and it's complex, it didn't turn anybody off. It was like a bestseller, and it's a really good teaching tool. So that's what we're doing tonight. And to have you here is just insane.
I love it. Do you want to hear a little backstory on that granola?
I do.
So the idea of it was really to marry, because my company started as a chocolate company. And I always found granola was done the same way all the time. And it was hard to differentiate between different granolas. And I was like, what if this is really elevated? So a lot of the ingredients in this granola are quite expensive, right? Hazelnuts are very expensive, all of that. And it was like, what if we sort of marry a chocolate and granola? So that was really the testing. And there's also a lot of my chocolates have salt on them. I really love the marriage of salt and chocolate. And so there's a fair amount of salt in that recipe as well.
There is,
and it gets
it's
very
imperative.
Crunchy, nutty, chocolatey. So I find it to be sort of a virtuous chocolate snack.
It is. It really satisfies by eating just a little bit, And I wanted to ask you, because a lot of my intention on this app, I'm obviously older and I'm a teacher, is instead of having it be, this viral thing where I'm trying to get tons of views, which I'm not interested in. My intention is to empower people at home, whether they're cottage industry bakers or home bakers. And my question to you is going to be, a lot of people ask me, how do you recipe develop and approach a project? Like, where do you start, and what advice can you give to people in their homes? Because right now I am hearing ingredients are expensive and people want to be careful about the mistakes that they make.
So what I love is what you were just talking about, which is like, and I always share the same goal, which is I want to empower people in the kitchen, but particularly in the sweet kitchen, because there's so much anxiety around it. And it's like, it's almost like people think they're going to get detention. Like, I'm always like, babe, you're not going to get in trouble. You won't be expelled. You know what I mean?
Right.
If your brioche doesn't rise or if your, pie falls apart a little bit. Nobody cares. It all tastes the same at the end of the day, and you're great.
Still eat it.
You're great. So everything about that book is really to create sort of like a mini encyclopedia of all sweet things. And it was very involved, and it took 2 years to write, actually.
You give a lot of technical information, especially on the chocolate side. Yeah, tons.
So when I'm developing something, I would say, number one, go with your palate. And something that I hear a lot is, oh, can I put peaches with blueberries? You can do anything you want, right? It's your dessert. Like nothing, again, like it's up to you. You're going to eat it, or you're going to serve it or gift it to somebody. So do what you want, right? Listen to your mouth, listen to your palate, always. Right. I also think as far as recipe developing goes, what's really good is to know the basics. So is it a meringue-based cake? Is it a creamed cake, right? In a cookie, is this a rolled cutout cookie that you're trying to do? Is it a drop cookie? Is it a scoopable cookie, right? And then I would go to something like your favorite dessert cookbook and look at process and proportion. So process and proportion of ingredients, like I can look at something now and go, okay, great. I want this, and this. It's got to be, 2-to-1, dry to wet, la, 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 la. And then I sort of break it all down. But if you use something, and let's just say you're doing, a pound cake recipe, pound cake recipes really don't change. Right. And if you look at them, it's all about the proportion of the ingredients, right? Yes. And so I would look at something that is very well established, just so you start to understand process and proportion, and then go to town with your creativity. Maybe you want to marble, matcha and black sesame. That sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
Let's go make it, huh? In a pound cake, and you're like, ooh, I kind of want to swirl it. Cool. Watch a YouTube video on doing that. And then the more you just play in the kitchen, the more confident you become. And I do like to use that word play, because that's all it is. You know what I mean? And then you can start to see, you'll start to understand, oh, well, if I'm baking with matcha or any spice, any other kind of tea, cocoa powder, these are drying agents in my recipe. So if I'm adding a bunch of matcha, you should probably take out that same weight in flour, or else you're going to get a drier cake. So it's like you start to just play a little bit and understand the technology. But I never went to culinary school.
Right, I read that.
Yeah, I learned how to bake and cook through cookbooks. And the more you practice, the more you start to understand just the very basics of how you do something. And a lot of it, then it's just sort of like about creativity and fun.
Yes.
Tweaking something. So say you take, you go to the Joy of Cooking and you take their basic pound cake recipe, and then you're like, oh, well, they've got lemon. I want to try grapefruit. Amazing. Right. Try grapefruit. And then you might go, what flavors do I like with grapefruit? I actually think some black pepper might be interesting in that, or maybe some coriander. Wow. What I always suggest to people is taste the ingredients together. You don't have to wait until something's cooked. Like when we're testing a new cake in our kitchen, we'll make like the buttercream, the cake and then we'll taste everything together. We'll build a little taste and go, does that work together? Before we're doing the whole thing.
Alice Medrich does, she has a book with different alternative flours that
Yes.
I made a gluten-free cookie recently.
Yeah.
And she was saying to get familiar with those flours, she was just adding water to them and eating them all like porridge. And that gave her a better baseline for how they tasted. And I thought that was a really good piece of advice.
Flours are so popular right now.
Yes.
My God. And they all do. They taste really different.
They do.
Really
Not only do
different.
they act different and function differently, but they do taste so different. My favorite right now is buckwheat. Do you do much with buckwheat?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're actually making something with buckwheat today.
Oh,
Buckwheat's my favorite gluten-free flour.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful color. What is your favorite color? Because I think I know what it is based on some of the photos, but I was wondering, what is your favorite color?
My
Because you do a
favorite,
lot visually with your book. Your book
I
is
do.
visually inspirational and also technical,
Oh my
which
God,
again
that
is
makes me
really
so
hard to find.
happy.
Yeah, it
And I
is. I love
styled
it.
every photo also. It
They're
was like
beautiful. Wow,
complete obsession.
gorgeous.
Um, my favorite color right now, historically, I've been a very black heavy person.
Mhm.
But right now, I'm really into blush tones.
Okay.
I really like blush tones. What color did you think it was?
I was
Gold?
gonna guess a shade of blue,
Oh,
but maybe
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Or a shade of green. Maybe those are just my
I do
favorites
like
these
green.
days.
I like
I
green a
love
lot.
green. I like
Yeah, I
brown,
love
black,
green.
green, and blue. Those are my faves.
I love green, but blushy stuff, super fun.
So clean, and
Super
your
fun.
packaging is so beautiful.
Thank you.
So a lot of
Thank
people
you.
too are looking for this foundational information. That's why I'm recommending your book. I think that people are lost looking at social media bakers and
Hmm.
not really getting that foundational information. So
Hmm.
they say, how can you find a good book? How do you know what are red flags? So when I'm looking at a book, I'm looking for that technical information paired with practical experience, which obviously when you're running a bakery, you get that as well.
Hmm.
But they are looking for something to grab onto, the information and to be able to build on the knowledge in a practical way. And a lot
Hmm.
of people are starting to do cottage industry businesses
Yeah, for
in
sure.
small amounts. And so I always tell them they need two things. They need to build a toolkit and they need to build a boat. Like in their
Hmm.
toolkit, they need certain things like good books or decent tools or things like that. And then in their boat, they need people. And I don't always encourage people to share their dreams too much at the beginning. But the boat for me is who's going to give you support
Mm.
and guide you and that sort of thing. And I think nowadays you can find it in lots of different places. So what do you tell people when they come to you and they say, I've been doing this, people
Hmm.
like my stuff, but they're really itching to take it to the next level, but they're worried about spending the money or the investment in time, or they have a full-time
Hmm.
job or a lot of other commitments. And I know you
Yep.
have a family, so you've probably dealt with the challenges of, limited time and money. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
bottom line.
for sure. What I always say to people who are interested in the food industry is only do it if you have to. Uh, and by that I mean, like, if you do have an overwhelming preoccupation with baking, with cooking, with creating things in the kitchen that you cannot turn off, and it distracts you from everything else that
Hilarious.
you
I
do,
mean, you're spot on. Spot
then go
on.
for it. If you're like, I kind of like to bake, I'd say do something else.
Right.
There are easier ways to make money for sure. The hours are always extremely long.
Mhm.
You do not live a normal schedule because, particularly with bakeries, we have to work every Saturday.
Yeah.
Times of the year where other people are like, yay, I'm off. My business is closed from December 15th to January 2nd, and we are like chuffing, filling so many orders, right?
Yes,
So there is tremendous sacrifice in
there
running a
is.
food company. There just is. And a lot, I would say, particularly in the last 2 or 3 years, it is a much more dynamic industry in that it's much harder to anticipate costs.
Okay.
Everything is gold bullion now,
Mhm.
and you don't know from day to day what it will cost. And so, but if you have that undeniable urge, and you're like, all I want, like, I get off work and I go home and I'm baking. And during lunch, I'm Googling recipes and I'm
Right.
like every day, every day, every day. And everything else is uninspired to me, then go for it, you know?
I think that's
Um,
great advice. It's so true because you know the people who are like that. And a lot of my viewers tell me they are like that.
mhm.
Um, I mean, like I always say, I wish I could turn it off, but I can't. I just
Yeah,
can't. I would if I
yeah,
could.
yeah, completely,
Um,
completely.
so I know you don't have tons and tons of time. So I have one more question, but real
Yeah,
quick, we have an
yeah.
international audience. So I thought you should tell
Ooh,
everybody who you are and where you
yes,
are. Because
yes.
right now we might have people in Singapore and in the UK and in Canada, and they're from all over the world. And I've
Incredible.
been making like connections like I am with you right now with
Yeah.
people out there, and it's been fabulous.
This
It's
is
just
so
been,
cool, by the way. It's
it really
amazing.
is. It really is. It's been, I love teaching and I've missed my students because I moved right as COVID hit because my husband got a job in Connecticut. But so this has given me that joy back to be able to connect with people. But why don't you tell the whole group just who you are and what your business is, and I'll show your book one more time. It's called Sweet by
Yay!
Valerie Gordon. It's
Yay!
beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So my name's Valerie Gordon and my company is Valerie Confections. We are Los Angeles based. We have 2 locations here. As I mentioned, I'm entirely self-taught. I started baking at the age of 7 and just kind of kept going with it. We ship all over the country and also internationally, and you can order from us at valerieconfections.com. So all of our chocolates, jams, gift sets, all sorts of stuff. Cookies, we ship internationally. So, and you can follow me.
Look at this. There's your
Oh,
salt.
thank you. It is.
Beautiful.
You can follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm the Valerie Gordon is my Instagram handle. And if you have questions about baking, chocolate making, whatever, slide into my DMs. I'll totally answer you.
Nice.
And my company handle is the Valerie Confections. So pop by if you're in LA. There go the
This is
petit.
my favorite. A petit four to me is,
Yeah.
I don't know why. They're my absolute favorite thing, and they always have been. And they're
Yeah,
very
same.
tedious. And yours are lovely.
Yeah, they
Lovely.
feel like little presents. That's
They
why.
are.
They're like little presents.
Are you doing the crystallized flour still?
Oh yeah, hand
Ugh.
candied.
Gorge. I mean, it's just insane.
They candy so many rose petals.
Well, and
That
being
is
in
their job.
California, you're so lucky to have, I mean, we just can't get our hands on that kind of produce.
Where are
So-
you?
Oh, in Connecticut.
Oh, gorgeous.
And I'm a little,
Okay.
I'm a little out of my element because I'm from the Midwest. So like I've internalized the seasons there, the cherries and the apples, and I know when everything's coming. And here I'm just not as ear to the ground as I was, you know, in my former life. But it's funny because I was reading in your book that like my philosophy, I always say like your dessert is a complete sentence. You should not have to explain what you're doing.
Yeah.
You should just present it and they should understand what your intention was. And I read that you wrote every bite should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I was like, that feels a lot like a complete sentence. And I think you and I are a little bit maybe think alike. Can you
Similar,
explain
yes.
a little bit? Because I know it's we've got a couple more minutes with you. I thought that might be a good way to wrap it up with your philosophy. Philosophy on a beginning, a middle, and an end. When people
So that's
do
about
it,
flavor.
okay.
That's about, so whenever I'm developing a recipe, you know, there's some bakeries you go to and you're like, it's okay. You know, and generally what you find in that is there's no depth of flavor. There's one note to it. And so whenever I'm developing a recipe, I want to look for a beginning flavor, a high note, and an ending note. So you really go on, and it's the same thing if any of you taste wine. If you taste a sip of wine and you just get one note, that's not good wine, right? What you want is you want your palate to really come alive, and you want to be able to taste those acidic notes, those deep fruit notes, and end with a spice, right? And it's the same thing with a baked good. So everything I do, like the rose petal pedophore, for instance, when you bite into it, the first thing that you taste is the passion fruit in the rose petal passion fruit ganache. Then you get the vanilla, and then it all sort of melds together into like this sort of creamy textural experience. So everything, and if I'm not getting that 1, 2, 3, when I taste something, it's not approved. It's not approved. And that recipe has to go back, and then it's got to get reconfigured until there's a journey within the flavor.
I think that's a really good point. So hopefully people heard that, because I think, you know, I use a flavor Bible a lot, and I recommend it to people and encourage people to start a flavor notebook and that sort of thing. But it does play into the texture. And when you're describing the petit four, I'm thinking about the chocolate coating, which is so creamy, and it has a lot of flavor. It's not chocolate, it's right. I mean, sometimes it is, but the white one, those flavors do all meld, and then they sit on your tongue and dissipate. So it is an experience, and that's what makes it special, I think, and memorable. So Yeah, actually,
always the
like on
goal,
Sunday, I
right?
was like, I should order something for Wednesday. And I was like, well, I don't know if it's going to get here. I was like, you need to just calm down. But yeah, I mean, it's all so yummy. And then I go to your website and I'm like, well, it's hard to stop. Like you want to order a little bit of everything. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll happily send you some
Oh,
petal.
no, you don't have
Yes,
to do
I would
that.
love to.
Oh, Valerie.
I would
I
love
have had a
to.
wonderful time. Thank you so much. We're making your granola right
Yay.
now, and I already made some today, and our weather's horrible for it. I have to say, the
Ah,
chocolate's not setting. It's so humid and terrible. I don't know if it's humid there where you are right now. Is it
no,
humid?
we have drier heat here.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
but I'm very familiar with the Connecticut moisture.
Yeah, it's a challenge in the summer. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing is good. Like it's, I don't want to make meringues. I don't want to do anything. So
Oh
it's a
yeah,
little
meringues are
challenging.
tough.
So yeah, we're working on ice cream.
Yeah,
Well,
for
thank
sure.
you. I know.
Such a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, it was so nice to meet you. I can't even tell you what a wonderful thing. And it kind of was in the back of my mind many weeks ago because every week I put a selection on a poll and the viewers choose what we do.
Right.
And I kept saying, I know it just sounds like granola, but it's really good. And it teaches a lot. It's a lovely recipe and we're going to do it right now. And
Yay.
hopefully,
Have so much fun, everybody.
thank you so much. It was so nice
Yay.
meeting you. And,
Thank
you know,
you.
hopefully someday when I'm out in LA, we'll get to meet in person.
I would love to. I would
All right,
love
well,
to.
take care.
All right, have a great
wonderful
class.
evening. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
I need a Gen Z person to come help me. Okay, wait, no, I found it. Okay.
All right, thanks. Wow. Okay, there we go. Was that amazing?